So for Talking Reading Day today, I am going to read a passage from The Lord of the Rings on page 511. It's a passage I like very much. It reminds me of scenes in Beowulf and Thèoden with all the other characters about to go to war. And the description of how they're going is very vivid. Now men came, bearing raiment of war from the king's hoard, and they arrayed Aragorn and Legolas in shining mail. Helms too they chose, and round shields. Their bosses were overlaid with gold and set with gems, green and red and white. Gandalf took no armor, and Gimli needed no coat of rings, even if one had been found to match his stature, for there was no hauberk in the halls of Edoras of better make than his short corslet, forged beneath the mountain in the north. But he chose a cap of iron and leather that fitted well upon his round head, and a small shield he also took. It bore the running horse, white upon green, that was the emblem of the house of Èowyn. "Might keep you well," said Thèoden. "It was made for me in Thengel's day, while still I was a boy." Gimli bowed. "I am proud, Lord of the Mark, to bear your device," he said. "Indeed, sooner would I bear a horse than be borne by one. I love my feet better, but maybe I shall come yet where I can stand and fight." "It may well be so," said Thèoden. The king now rose, and at once Èowyn came forward, bearing wine. "Faithful Thèoden Hall," she said, "receive now this cup, and drink in happy hour. Health be with thee at thy going and coming." Thèoden drank from the cup, and then she proffered it to the guests. As she stood before Aragorn, she paused suddenly and looked upon him, and her eyes were shining. And he looked down upon her fair face and smiled, but as he took the cup, his hand met hers, and he knew that she trembled at the touch. "Hail Aragorn, son of Arathorn," she said. "Hail, Lady of Rohan," he answered, but his face now was troubled, and he did not smile. When they had all drunk, the king went down the hall to the doors. There the guards awaited him, and heralds stood, and all the lords and chiefs were gathered together that remained in Edoras or dwelt nearby. "Behold, I go forth, and it seems like to be my last riding," said Thèoden. "I have no child. Theoden my son is slain. I name Èomer my sister's son to be my heir. If neither of us return, then choose a new lord as you will. But to someone I must now entrust my people that I leave behind, to rule them in my place. Which of you will stay?" No man spoke. "Is there none whom you would name? In whom do my people trust?" "In the house of Èowyn," answered Hama. "But Èomer I cannot spare, nor would he stay," said the king, "and he is the last of that house." "I said not Èomer," answered Hama, "and he is not the last. There is Èowyn, daughter of Eowmund, his sister. She is fearless and high-hearted. All love her. Let her be as lord to the Eorlingas while we are gone." "It shall be so," said Thèoden. "Let the heralds announce to the folk that the Lady Èowyn will lead them." Then the king sat upon a seat before his doors, and Èowyn knelt before him, and received from him a sword and a fair corslet. "Farewell, sister-daughter," he said. "Dark is the hour, yet maybe we shall return to the Golden Hall. But in Dunharrow the people may long defend themselves, and if the battle go ill, thither will come all who escape." "Speak not so," she answered. "A year shall I endure for every day that passes until your return." But as she spoke, her eyes went to Aragorn, who stood nearby. "The king shall come again," he said. "Fear not. Not west, but east, does our doom await us."